Hey guys, welcome back to Sage Grows Organics. It's a lovely morning here in the garden. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to save money by not buying seeds, but propagating plants using cuttings. Specifically, I'm going to show you how to propagate kale plants using cuttings. And I'm also going to show you how to take the best cuttings for propagating your kale plants. So if you want to know why I take cuttings like this when I'm propagating kale, make sure that you watch to the end of the video, or you could just skip to the section where I talk about the best cuttings for propagating your kale plants. So guys, without wasting much time, let's get straight ahead to today's video. Here in the garden, I've got these old kale plants that are obviously not at their best. They are not healthy, even though they are starting to send out some new fresh leaves. But these are now spent, they are old. Even if you look at the stalks, they are so hardy. I'm sure these no longer pull up nutrients as they used to when they had fresh stems like this. So these gotta go out. So I'm going to pull these out from this garden bed and use cuttings from the same plants to start up some new kale plants. So for example, here I've got a Taunton Gen kale with the red stems. So I'm going to take cuttings from these, and you see these nodules here and here, these. If I cut, let's say here, and I've got this whole stem here, and I plant up to here, from about here up to here, all these nodules are going to form some roots, and they're going to pull up nutrients and support this cutting, and it will grow to be as big as this whole plant that you see here. It is going to send out its own suckers like the ones that you see here, and this is going to be a bushy kale plant. So I'm going to take cuttings whereby I'll just cut, maybe leave about 6 to 7 nodules on the plant, so that I can get as many roots from the cutting that will support the plant. And here I've got another type of kale again. I'll just do the same thing, but as you can see here, the nodules are spaced, much more spaced as compared to the Taunton Gen kale. So I might get about 3 nodules per cutting, but they are going to produce roots as well, which will support the rest of the plants. Okay, so now I just have to pull out this from the garden bed. I would have loved to leave the roots in the garden to rot and build up the soil, but these are notorious, guys. They are going to send up some suckers from the roots, and the plant won't grow as well. It will just be a bushy plant which will not do so well. For example, look at this. This is a plant which is growing well up here, but at the base you see those suckers that are growing there. They're not going to grow into any decent plants, so I have to pull the whole of the plant like this with the roots, so that I won't get those suckers that will just pull up nutrients but do no good. So I'm going to pull the rest of the plant and start fresh with the cuttings that I would have got from the same plants. I'm going to get a cutting from this. So this is the variety that is nodules that are too spaced. So I need about 3 or 4 nodules for each cutting, so that I can get maximum roots to support this plant. So this is going to be above soil. So I'm going to count from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, and cut here like this, and make sure that I remove all these suckers, so that these are not going to pull up moisture as this cutting is growing roots. I don't want suckers to stress the cutting. Okay, so I'm just going to cut all these leaves so that I preserve the moisture that's in this cutting. Even the ones that are at the top, I'm going to Even the leaves at the top, I'm going to cut them and leave this growing part here. This is what I would like to leave, that growing part, so I'm going to cut even that one. So this is what I'm remaining with, the growing part of the kale cutting. So these are the cuttings that I got from my old plants, my old kale plants. This is one variety, and this is another variety here, the Taunton kale. Okay, so now I just have to prepare these for planting into the garden bed. But before I go ahead to plant these, I want to disinfect these wounds, and I also want to apply some rooting hormone on these cuttings so that they are going to develop roots very soon. So what I've done is here I've got a bucket of rainwater and some aloe vera cuttings that I've put in here. This is going to disinfect the cuttings, and it's also going to act as a rooting hormone for the cuttings to develop roots very fast. So I took an aloe vera leaf from my Aloe barbadensis miller plant, which I then added in some water. After chopping the aloe vera leaves, I added in some rainwater so that the properties of the aloe vera plant, the antibacterial properties and the rooting hormone properties of the aloe vera, the Aloe barbadensis miller, is going to help my cuttings to develop roots faster and protect them from decay caused by bacteria. So right now I'm just going to take this bunch of Taunton kale cuttings and chuck them into this mix of aloe vera cuttings and water, rainwater. This is the best combination. If you want to do this, use rainwater which has no chlorine or any other chemicals. Okay, so now that I've chucked these into this mix, I'm just going to leave them for some time while I prepare the bed. So back to the bed here, I'm just loosening up the soil. I'm not turning up anything, but just loosening up the soil with my garden fork. Now that these cuttings have been sitting in this mix of aloe vera and rainwater for quite some while, now they are ready for me to plant them in this garden bed that you see here. So I've prepared the garden bed, loosened the soil to make the bed ready to receive the cuttings and to make it easy for the cuttings, snow roots, to go deep into the soil. Now what I just have to do is to plug in these cuttings into bed and let them to start develop the roots. So you're going to see that most of the cuttings have got this L shape. I did this deliberately, choosing the cuttings that have got this L shape so that this can lie flat in the ground, and as the roots develop from these nodes, they're going to support the plants for it to be stable. Okay, so I'm just going to lay these cuttings directly where I'm going to plant them, like this, mixing them one Taunton kale and one African kale after the other. This is no known benefit, but I'm just planting them like this for the aesthetic look of it. There's not any known benefit for planting one Taunton kale after each and every African kale, but just for the aesthetics. Okay, now that I've laid my cuttings where I'm going to plant them, I just need to come back and dig a hole with my hands and chuck in the cuttings and then leave them to grow, making sure that I remove these roots that remained in the ground. So you see that the bottom part of the L shape is lying flat on the ground like that, and roots are going to develop this way and that way, and that way they're going to support the cutting as it grows. So I don't want to bore you with this whole process of planting all these cuttings. I just wanted to show you why I chose these cuttings that I've got an L shape like this. So now that I've shown you about whole plants, I think you get the whole idea of planting cuttings with this L shape. So now I'm just going to finish, and I'll show you after I'm done. I'm done planting the cuttings in the garden beds. As you can see, I've planted this whole section here with the African kale cuttings and the town from DL kale. So now I'm going to use the same water that I was using to disinfect the plants and as a rotting hormone to water the plants, water the cuttings. So this aloe vera water is going to help the plants, the cuttings rather, to develop roots much faster, and it's also going to make sure that there's not going to be rot in these cuttings, because this aloe vera water is antibacterial, so it's going to protect the cuttings as well, and make sure that they develop roots and grow to be bigger plants. So this is it, guys. This is how I propagate kale from cuttings. I've shown you how I take the cuttings, how I disinfect the cuttings, and how I apply rooting hormone so that the cuttings develop roots faster and grow to be bigger plants. So if you have learned something from this video, if you have liked this video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and make sure that you share and like the video with your friends and family so that they can also learn a thing or two. So thank you for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video.